when the databases don't have it, that thing can save the day. It's also quite handy to explain to customers how many hangers there actually are, because you can't keep them all in stock.
Welcome to the very last episode of Where I Bike. Where I Bike is a series where I go around visiting bike shops and bike people all over the country. The aim of Where I Bike is to learn about what they do, how they do it, and where they do it. Billy's Bike Exchange is a workshop built on accessibility, community, and giving old bikes a second life. What started as a side hustle during the pandemic has turned into a bustling bike shop, where anybody can come in and get their bike fixed, rummage through bike parts and pick up a bike that ain't going to break the bank. I had the pleasure to meet Billy and his mechanic Kieran, and I think we should head back to Bristol for the final time this series to meet Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy. Welcome to Billy's Bike Exchange. Come and have a look.
So can you show us the new and used parts and explain that to us?
Yeah, sure. So this is our used parts section. It's all relatively cheap, easy to use bits for people that want to do their own work. They can come in, pick out some stuff that they want. There is a few hidden gems in there as well if you dig deep enough. So yeah, it's just like a bit of a daily jumble. You can come in and have a rummage. We also have some new stuff.
Now that you've got all like set out and arranged, is it actually easier to find stuff, or is it?
100%. Yeah. Back in the day when we had less space, everything was just in boxes. People would have to tell us what they wanted. We'd have to get it all out, price it up. So at least now, if we've got time, we can be organised and price bits up, or at least like everything's in size and type at least.
How do you price stuff up? Like, how do you get the prices?
Vast majority of the time, we kind of just know what it's worth. A lot of it is super cheap. We're talking like £5-10. If it's something a bit higher end, like we've got a GRX crankset in there or something, we'll either know the value or we'll have a look at eBay sold. We tend to do cheap as possible, really, for the used stuff.
So how did Billy's Bike Exchange actually begin? Was it a light bulb moment, or is it more of a happy accident?
Very much a happy accident. I was trained as a social worker, was working as a child and family social worker right at the start of COVID. So it's like a classic lockdown story. Obviously that kind of will come to a halt. And in my spare time, I was fixing up old vintage bikes, mostly bikes that we'd found scrapped around Bristol, like the lowest end bikes you could think of. Made an Instagram page for it because my friends were getting bored of all the bike pictures, and it kind of just kept going. It's grown very slowly, very organically. Like, this is our 5th year now, but for the first 3 years, I don't know if I was even making money. It was very much just me on my own, either in the garden, storage unit, or like a tiny little unit down and through the road somewhere.
What's the weirdest and most unexpected thing you've ever found inside a bike whilst fixing it?
Oh, I did find, the first thing that springs to mind is a whole Swiss army knife tucked in the seat tube of a really old bike. And you'd be surprised that it fit in there, and it wasn't rattling around beforehand. That was years ago. That was one of the first ones that I did, actually. It was an old man's bike. Hair is the main thing. We find, like, just any bike mechanic will know, just rolls and rolls of hair in any hub, bottom bracket that like hasn't been treated for a long time. Yeah.
What's with the racks here? So is this customer bikes?
Yes. So, well, this is a bit of a mix. So we mainly do servicing and repairs these days. So it is pretty much customers' bikes. Obviously, it's peak summer season, so we're super busy at the moment. But we do also stock a lot of kind of half-done bikes, because we will sell fully restored bikes to customers if they want one. But we tend to kind of wait and see what they want, they can pick out a frame, pick out a group set, and then we can tailor it to them a little bit more. So it's a bit of a mix. There's two sides of the business, really, repairs and then refurbished bikes.
How do you decide when a bike just needs a quick tune-up or versus like a full strip down and rebuild?
So every time a customer comes in, as long as they've got a few minutes, I'll get it up on their secondary stand and I'll pretty much do a kind of external assessment of the bike in front of them, give them an estimate of a quote, and we'll just go from there. Basically, we're not one of those shops that's overly precious about, if a customer has an old bike that's a bit knackered and it just needs the thing that's stopping them from riding it that day is a puncture and a pair of brake pads, we will do that instead of telling them it's either rebuild or nothing. But yeah, we pretty much just decide with the customer on the stand and tell them what we think it needs and see what they can afford. We found when it comes to the used stuff, the things that will save people the most money if it's just a commuter or a pub bike or something is being able to get a decent set of used wheels. We still put them on the stand, make sure the spokes are good, make sure the bearings are good, but it just saves people a lot of money. And when they're all hung up like this, tires and wheels, you can easily see what you need. And yeah, it just looks cool. Anything hanging from the ceiling looks good.
Talk about the project behind you and the other two bikes.
Yes. Cool. So this is one of my personal bikes. This is an original Rally Bomber. It got powder coated by Griff's up in fish ponds. It's had many lives. This is a kind of very recent on the go project with some crazy wheels from a clunker like that. An old 2x cotter pin crankset, which I've never seen before. And my favourite bell I've ever had on any bike. Really nice design. But yeah, this is just going to be my kind of Sunday clunker. This is Kieran the mechanic.
I'll get him to talk about it fully in a minute.
Yeah, this is one of Kieran's many clunker projects. And this is my friend Sid, who I'm sure will see this video. This is his Killer V. He's left in Bristol. He's on a trip in New Zealand. Just a really cool classic Cannondale jobby with the plastic wheels.
Hi, I'm Kieran. So basically, I've been in this unit with Billy since February. I'm an old mechanic from Halfords. I basically came over, wanted to get more into the independent scene, really. But I've been a mechanic for 8 years now. But my favourite thing is working on all sorts of bikes. Really love the vintage stuff, but I really like the high-end, newer stuff as well. So pretty good.
Tell us about this machine.
So this is one of my many of bikes. This is my clunker. There's a bit of like a parts bin build. So it was just had a load of bits lying around. My favourite bit of the bike is probably the GRX crank I put on it because where it's such a odd bike. Yeah. It was just, I had it lying around. I was like, it's an old BSA bottom bracket in there. So I was like, right, get it in. And yeah, it was pretty much everything just came apart. Probably the most expensive bit though is probably this BMX stem. It's an original very early 80s Durace. I think it's Durace or Jaw Pro, I think it is. Yeah. But it's basically massive in the BMX scene. But I'm also a big collector of old school BMXs as well. Low riders. I got a load of import American bikes and stuff. So yeah, love it all.
Do you have an Instagram account that people can check out?
I do, so it's just Kieran Murphy 468 and I post all my bikes on there. Yeah. Since working with Billy, I bring a lot of them, ride them in every day, and then Billy likes putting them up on the Instagram as well. So, yeah, it's good.
When someone comes in for a bespoke build, how would you turn their dream bike or dream ramble into an actual machine that they can ride away on?
Yeah, so it's always a bit of to-ing and fro-in. We try, as long as we can establish a budget and make it reasonable, we will try and do basically whatever the customer wants. So we'll ask them for some references. Usually they've seen something online that they like. We'll show them what we've got here that kind of relates to that, like what we could do with everything that we've got in, or mostly stuff that we've got in. Or if they know exactly what they want, we can either order them everything in or they can bring us some stuff. And yeah, we try and make sure we cater to them as much as they want, because custom projects tend to obviously include a lot more labour time and you're buying a lot more kind of minor specific parts, so it can add up a lot more. So we just want to make it the customer's dream bike, basically.
Have you ever had a customer bring a bike that was so bad that you surprised they even got it here?
Oh, every couple of days, yeah. We're like I said earlier, we're more of the spit and sawdust end of the spectrum in quite a nice area. So we get all of the seconds from other shops, or people know that they can bring us stuff, and we're not gonna like laugh at them basically. But yeah, we had a Kona last week that literally looked like it had been living in a hedge for about 2 years. It was just it was like foliage all over it. Yeah, but it's pretty rare we get a bike in that we can't get riding, and it's very rare that it won't be worth us doing it to some degree.
I can't not ask you about the motorbike.
Yeah.
That's in the car.
Yes, the best thing in the shop. It gets every customer talking. This is my 1973 CB125. Bless it, it's not been ridden in about a year, but it does make the best shop prop ever. It is going to be up for sale, unfortunately. If anyone sees this and likes it, I've got to sell it because I'm getting my first car soon. But yeah, it's a lovely thing. This pipe's from an old Volkswagen camper. Had some new shocks last year. We bought it from a restoration garage down in Devon. It's got a few little bits falling off that needs a little service, but yeah, it's a lovely thing.
I've just also spotted that rally
Yes.
up there. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so this came from Julian House, rest in peace. I think the last one is just shut down now, which was a really good collection of bike charities in Bristol and Bath. This was from their Trowbridge shop when they were closing down. It was 20 quid, and yeah, it just makes a great little hanger. And this one up here, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a 1960 Peugeot kids bike, but they look quite good together. It's the only kids bike I've ever seen that is just in perfect proportion. It's just like a shrunken adult bike.
Yeah, it is.
But that thing is beautiful. I'm saving that for my firstborn.
It's so good.
Yeah. You're
So
right.
tell us what goes on up here.
So this is the main workshop area. We like to keep it separate from all the goings on down there. This is Kieran's domain. Kieran's the mechanic. He's currently building this lovely thing. But yeah, this is our ET corner. Yeah, this is where the magic happens. Basically, this is where we keep all of our kind of service parts here: chains, cassettes, all of the niche old little bolts that you might need for a vintage bike. That
Do you keep every bolt that comes off a bike?
We will keep every usable thing possible. The challenge is just organising it. So we got a few of these hidden away. Yeah. Then we kind of keep group sets in boxes. Like this is it's dirty at the moment, but really nice, rare old all white RX group set. Super rare stuff kind of stays hidden away. Yeah, just makes it nice and secluded, basically.
What would you say is the most used tool in the shop?
Ooh, it's got to be a 8mm spanner, 5mm Allen key. What do you reckon, Keir? 10mm spanner all day. Yeah, cable cutters, or
The seized parts of mallet.
yeah, or where is it? The breaker bar, if we can find that, saved our life. We use that about 10 times a day, especially working on old. We work on a lot of either very low end bikes that have been in people's gardens for years, or really, really old bikes with seized parts. So this is an old railway sleeper installer, which does absolute wonders. Yeah. Yeah.
Serious bit of kit.
Yeah, and then we do have a bit, or because not so much these days, but we did used to work on a lot of vintage, proper vintage stuff, like 40s and up. So we do have all the Imperial tools, all the old Canpag tools, that kind of thing.
I like the hanger poster on.
Yeah, one of many. That can save the day sometimes. They're not all on there, but yeah. When the databases don't have it, that thing can save the day. It's also quite handy to explain to customers how many hangers there actually are, because you can't keep them all in stock.
That's actually a really good way
Yeah.
to think about it. Like, I imagine a lot of people, so why haven't you got that in stock?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
normal part that every bike has.
Every bike's got a different one.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. These two questions are kind of round about Bristol.
Yeah.
What do you think is special about running a bike shop in Bedminster?
So, Bedminster is a great area to have a bike shop because you get a lot of people cycling here, commuting here that usually wouldn't, because it's stone's throw from the city centre. You can't really drive into town from here, or it wouldn't make sense to. So you get a lot of people cycling that wouldn't usually do it. It's a great starting point for a lot of the big Bristol rides. So you've got Ashton Court up the road for the mountain bikers. You've got Peel Path, Chew Magna goes out that way. It's a great area on the edge of town for all things bike, really. And we also, I think, just a more general Bristol thing, we get people are a lot more kind of free with what they'd let us do, or they're a bit more up for doing something a bit more kind of out there than other cities, because Bristol's just got that, Bristol's just a bit more of a laid back place.
If Bristol's cycling scene had a personality, how would you describe it?
It's got that classic Bristol punk attitude to things, but still being super laid back. There's not much dick swinging going on. There's not very few kind of elitist bike clubs here. Everyone kind of gets on with each other. You'll find people will ride in club like Bristol South, which is a kind of really established road biking club, but then they'll also be on the bike polo team or ride with FOCC on the fixies and stuff. So yeah, it's small enough of a city that everyone kind of comes together.
Are there any plans for the future or next steps for the shop?
Yeah, so we've grown quite a lot recently. So I think we're just looking forward to a year or two, just a few busy seasons to just kind of crack on as we are, build up our resources a little bit. I've in two minds about whether I do want a kind of shop front setup. That would be the natural goal, but I do quite like having the slightly offset unit, because it's obviously a lot cheaper, gives us the freedom to kind of do jobs that wouldn't be efficient in other places. But yeah, I definitely want to keep growing. That's kind of what keeps me loving it, really, is doing more. We definitely want to do more kind of event stuff. Like I said, we do a lot of bike jumbles. We also want to do a lot more ride outs. We've also thought, because of this loading bay where the workshop is, it naturally lends itself to a kind of stage setup. So you could do bike repair workshops, kind of mini screenings, that kind of thing.
What days are you open, and where's the best place for people to kind of contact you?
So the Instagram is probably the best place for people that are into their bikes, that kind of want to follow what we're doing. I kind of treat it more like a blog. In terms of getting booked in, they can shout me up, call me, WhatsApp, anyway, really. It's all online to find. We're shut on Sundays and Mondays, and then we're open the rest of the week, 10 till 6.
It was an absolute pleasure to go down and meet Billy and see what he was doing there. It was nice to meet Kieran as well, as a mechanic, who's got very good taste in bikes and has some very nice stickers on his bike. I don't know if you spotted, my face was on there as well. But it was amazing. I filmed a lot of this series, and this one in particular, right back in the summer, so I've had a lot of time to think about it. And if I ever did get to a point where I could open up a shop, I'm going to use Billy's Bike Exchange as inspiration. It's such a nice set out, looks really cool, and his ethos and what he does for people on bikes in the community is just massive. So do me a favour, go and support Billy's Bike Exchange. If you're Bristol, go and say hi, and if you're not, go and check him out on socials. I'll link them down below, and share some love. So that brings me to the very last episode of the first series of Where I Bike. It was an idea that I've had for a very long time. I kind of started it last year with Marlon, and then I just never got around to doing anything with it, and then I finally just decided to just go for it this year, and it was super fun. It was a really nice way of doing it, and it's helped me reach more people. The channel has grown ever so slightly since doing this, having a little bit of a bump, and I can only assume it's because of this series. So anybody who's joined since then, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I am this close to hitting 30,000 subscribers, and that was kind of my goal this year, and I'm very nearly there, so do feel free to subscribe to the channel. So what's next? I have plans to film pretty much over a few days a load of London shops. I want to do series 2 as a London special, if you like. There's a bunch of people I know, friends and people that I've been dying to go and meet and see what they do. So I'm going to use that opportunity to do another series. So it will be coming out probably early next year. But if you can't wait for that, don't worry. I am in the middle of recording 7 episodes or 7 videos to go up on the channel over Christmas. Most years I just disappear for a little bit, which most people would, totally understandable. Not going to leave you hanging this year, you're going to need some content, so I am working on a bunch of videos that will be scheduled and coming out over into the new year. So if you're new to the channel from this video, hello, welcome, thank you very much for joining us. I make bike content, whether it be building things, meeting people, or just random stuff involving bicycles. So if that's your cup of tea, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a bunch. And if you can't wait until the next episode, that one there is a particularly good one.